Greetings and salutations! This is Jason Silverain, and with new updates to Crusader Kings 3, there is a lot, and I mean a lot of changes to the current available mods out there. Yes, I'm back again. Quite a few of my old favourites have vanished, and quite a few have been changed, altered, and otherwise twisted, so I'm just here to go over a few that I've had in my previous playthroughs, and just give them a little bit of a highlight. Now, one of my absolute favourites is the Highlander mod. Now, if you're not familiar with Highlander, if it's a bit before your time, essentially you get Immortals, and there can only be one. You're going around hunting down other Immortals, killing them and absorbing their powers. Now, there's quite a few nice options for the Immortals here. Now, in this version of it, you can make it that you can have quickenings, meaning mortals can become immortal by killing an immortal. Or if an immortal dies, yeah, a new one just appears somewhere. And if you're wondering how can an immortal die, well, in Highlander, if your head gets chopped off, it's all over. You can affect where they spawn, which is very handy. I personally would stick them all in Europe or in your general area, otherwise you're going to have problems across the map. You can choose who gets them, so you can have it counts are above, dukes are above, or kings. I'd be tempted by counts, if I was completely honest. I mean, dukes may give them a little bit of power, but that's quite good having counts as well. Now, Immortal Pilgrimages. This is essentially you pay 250 gold to go down and hunt down other immortals. Now, I like the fact you can give the AI that, meaning that there's a little bit of a run between you and other immortals to try and find the others. I've had some great fun when I thought, it's like, I've killed 3 immortals, that can't be too bad. And then over in Asia, where I can't reach them, there's another chap currently chopping his way through all the ones over there. And he's killed about 5, I've killed about 5. It was a fantastic finale near the end. And you can change whether or not they're fertile or infertile, which is really handy. Now, there's another little simple one where you can invite people to your court, and this has always been a problem with some of the invite to court rules, because I've got a few mods that do this. Some of them just, you end up with trash, a lot of trash people for 50 gold and a bit of prestige. It hurts in the early game. So this one in particular ensures that they have good physical traits. It's a little bit broken. I mean, you can go half chance, you can go vanilla, not a chance, and guaranteed. Again, just nice to set things up. Now, a new one that I have not showcased in any of my previous playthroughs, the Hiref, if that's how it's pronounced, but it's a Dynasty Legacies overhaul. This one is really unusual, and I'm going to try and showcase it very soon. And the main gimmick with this is it's completely swapped out and changed the Dynasty Legacies, as it says on the tin. But now, they're a bit of a mixed bag. I mean, they're not quite as good for having that line that inherits all the traits. Like, the bloodline's pretty much gone. But it also affects what traits your characters develop by what you have in your legacy. So for some it makes them more arrogant, others it makes them more gregarious, others it makes them more calm and rational. And others, well, you start getting vengeful or spiteful, so you've got to be careful what you pick. But you can also make sure that the AI doesn't cheat, and they have to do various requirements for each legacy before they can select it. So that's a nice little option there. I mean, so far I found that the AI struggles with some of them, because one of them's like, have at least 8 prisoners of a different religion in your prison. And the AI will usually just sell away their prisoners right away. That's just a prime example. Now, other ones, whilst I'm in the screen, yep, the classic VIET events, that's all still there, same with Rice. They still work. I've been trying all these out, and they are just fantastic, so I recommend just chucking those in there whenever you can, because it's just very fun. Yeah, let's just have all the music tracks in there. Now, let's have a look. Now we'll have that on default. I'm just double checking things, and yes, the community flavour pack, that's also welcome back. Another welcome mod that has returned is the Spouse Designer. I've just been going through it, it seems to be working fine. Debug says it's okay as well, so thankfully not too many issues there. And I've tried making a spouse that's reasonably okay right now, within the limits. But she might be a little weak. But hell, we have a mage, and that will bring me on to our next thing. But first, I'm going to quickly make a character, just so I can get into the game. Okay, let me introduce you to my current test ruler. Now, this chap was actually legitimately made, apart from the quick, the hail, and the beautiful, and the pure blood. I mean, normally what I'd actually do if I was going for a triple trait run is I'd start at 0 age and just have these and upgrade his base stats, and then it would be a bit of a gamble to see if I could reach adulthood with a decent guardian and see what I've got. But the other way of going around it is going in, especially if you're a Viking, 70 years old. At 70 years old, you cost the same base price as a kid who is 0. Go in with Brilliant Strategist, maxed out Blade Master, Temperate, and your selection of commander traits, and just start raiding. You build up, you take over, you get yourself a wife, try and get yourself a kid as soon as possible, and it's a brilliant way in an early game for a Viking ruler just to take a huge amount of land in unusual places before popping his clogs, especially if you're just going for that throwaway ruler, because at 70 years old we get a lot of perks. Now I'll have to just actually no, can I just no, I have to select the focus. Damn. Well, let's go with prowess. Okay, what we want is everything over here. I mean, it's a lot more useful for a Viking rather than our current liege. But then you want the 1 rank in Serve the Crown for that command growth, and then as far down the right as you can here for the Household Guard. And then, because you'd be, there we go, 70 years old, this would be absolutely fantastic. Now ignore the debug stuff for now, and this is the build I use for when I'm doing this run in terms of the skills. Because if you can get Gallant, that's absolutely fantastic, but it gives your guy a massive martial skill. Again, knock like 3 or 4 points off for the quick and all that at the moment. And you can quickly go conquering. But that's not really what I was going to go into today. I could spawn in Immortals. This doesn't affect us. I want to be an Immortal. Thank you. Thank you very much. And remember, if you're an Immortal, you can't exactly do your normal eugenics program, meaning you are stuck with what you can start with. But because this is a decision, you can leave it for ages. You can do the child run, get up to this big rank, build up a character, and then make them an Immortal at the end. That's sort of one of the reasons I did this, just to show you can actually do this. If this would be like a character that I'd have if I was doing my big old Iron Man Viking. Alright, now another one I'd like to show you is establish house traditions. This mod is a wonderful little thing. As you can see, set of personality traits that will be favoured or disfavoured by future members of your house as they grow up. And depending on what sort of character you have, well, these are really nice. Impatience, never a nice one. Let's have a look. Gary's calm, deceitful. So you always get like maybe 1. Vigilance. Favours diligent, patient, and paranoid. Favours impatient and trusting. I mean, that's pretty solid. I kind of like that. And the passive bonuses to these is just so helpful. The main tax is plus 10%. That is just amazing. Greedy, diligent, and gregarious. Disfavours shy and content. More likely to pursue stewardship. Wisdom. Doesn't affect how you guys pursue anything though. I mean, I would say wisdom is just a solid all-rounder one for a long-standing. Yeah, I'm gonna go wisdom. I mean, it doesn't really help the prowess, but oh well. And I might as well strengthen the bloodline whilst I'm at it. Excellent. Okay, next one on the list. Well, there's the alternative payment ones. You saw me using this in the past, where you can use either your cash, prestige, or piety to sort of trade between them, which is really nice. Again, I don't really have enough to use that as an example right now. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you've seen me use them. Again, this one I would say is a little hit and miss because you get lifestyle as well with this. It feels a little bit broken and can be abused. However, this in conjunction with, oh god, some stress for that one. I didn't know that was a side effect of that. Oh well. Yes, this alongside the Fate Stay Night .2 mod is excellent because, as you may have noticed when I was doing traits for this chap, because we now have two Magecraft lifestyles. We have Magecraft and we have Master. You cannot actually go into the Master until the Holy War, the Holy Grail War starts. But these ones are frankly fantastic. I mean, you get Magecraft experience and you get Stewardship. However, there is no accompanying education, should I say, that aids this, so it does take ages to level up. And as you can see, the experience points you get, well, the same as everywhere else, really. So it's a bit hard to sort of race down it. But you'd want to start with this one, the Mage Heritage, and that one lets you continually gain mana over time, I think. No, it's this one that gives you mana over time. That's the first one you want. The rest of this lets you actually have the chance of giving your offspring magery. Now, I am just going to get on with this and go slap, slap, slap. That should be enough to actually do this. Now we can actually read the descriptions. And, well, yeah, that certain probability. Oof. I have had 16 kids in another game. Only one of them has been a mage. It's a real kick in the teeth, and it is really harsh. And unlike the previous version, it is very difficult to find any mages in the map. Natural selection, massive health boost, you can't disagree with that. Noble blood, level of fame impact plus 100%. Piety plus 2 months, a bit weak, but still okay. Fertility plus 50. And then each of your mega skill children will give you prestige, which is very nice. I mean, 10 prestige a year is a pittance, but if you have lots and lots of kids, I guess that could add up. I would say that would be better as renown, or 10 prestige a month. Pure blood creatures makes you practically immune to flimming disease, I've noticed. The Blood Guardian, just huge amounts of fort. And then finally, Magus Family, which each Magus child you have gets 1 mana a year, which is really nice. This one is chonky and dead solid. Magecraft. Now, I'm not even going to get into the Holy War stuff yet. That's got its own nonsense to go with. But this, just with the mana, you can start spending it to enhance your skills. And I really recommend, if you become a mage very early in your game, you do not start the Holy War yet, and you go down here and you get these abilities because they are so damn useful. Now, I am not sure what it means. I don't know what it means in Object Magus. I don't know if you can make a magical creature. I mean, I guess it's called magical teaching. I think with that one you can make people into mages, and that may deal with some of the problems of breeding them. I haven't made it all the way down this tree yet. I jumped the gun in my other playthrough when I was experimenting with this, so I don't really know. And likewise, Social Mage. I think you can do things with this, but it's really awkward. What it essentially is, it says invite mages to party. What you can do is right click on an existing mage and invite to talk to them. You can't, this first perk does nothing to begin with. Now if you have the other ones, you can spend this built up mana and you can do various things like give them stress, you know, destroy their schemes, destroy all schemes against them, make people like each other, and then the final one is inviting wild maguses. I mean, that's not bad, but I would probably ignore that tree. I mean, it's the very last thing you need, and it doesn't really tie in well. But as you can see, I'm not a mage yet, so how does one become a mage? Well, we go over here and clean up our court library. Costs us 50 gold, so you can start this very early, which means you can probably start as a child, potentially. But I will say this. Due to a current bug, if you're making your own ruler, do not start with magic powers. It will completely disable all of these events. And you won't be able to do the Holy Grail War. Though you will still be able to do all the other things, so depends if you want servants or not. As you can see, we go through this. It explains what a magecraft is. And then if I can find it in this massive thing of nonsense, you know, let's hide all the immortality stuff. Thank you. What's also that? Alright, they've added options. Interesting. Now, I'm not seeing it here yet, but eventually, after a while, you'll get an event that empowers you and gives you base level magery. And then, after then, you'll start building up mana. The first rank gives you 10. You spend a while building up to 10 mana. Then, once you've got 10, you can upgrade to knock yourself up to the next level, which gives you more bonuses. That gives you 20, and so on and so on. Which is another reason why I suggested getting that lifestyle that instantly gives you 2 mana a month. It is really, really useful if you want to rank yourself up as a mage. But jumping back here for just one moment, one of the reasons I recommended the mod that lets you trade your prestige and things around is because it does give you those lifestyle experiences, and you'll spend so long trying to build your character up as a mage that you won't be able to have time to go down any other lifestyle unless you're very lucky. Especially since you can't give yourself that bonuses to this, and there's practically no events that add anything to these legacies, so yeah, I would give yourself a bit of a free reign to cheat just that tiny amount with this one. Here's a fun one which I made by accident earlier. You want to have a wife who can actually be a mage right from the start. Well, this is just stats you can start with. That just came in under the 400 amount, so you can start legitimately with a magic circuit quick. The herbalist, the full-on shadow, but as you can see, you're very much stuck in one area. And, well, she's going to be a concubine very soon. Alright! Now, some of you who remember my absolute favourite mod from Crusader Kings 2 may remember A Sensible Family. It's returned in Crusader Kings 3. Now, this one is far more in-depth than previously, so you get a little bit of backstory. But here we go. We go remembering our father. Now, we can see what his stats are. Okay, that's really solid. That is really solid. And what you can do is bring him with different DNA. You can change... you can change the DNA, it drifts, and I think when the DNA drifts, it also affects what traits pop up. And again, that will make them more like you. Okay. What is my house? Fair enough. What's his house? Also useless. So we make him our patriarch. And then you can go and modify his traits. Now, the chance of actually getting one of these good physical traits isn't very common. Alright. We don't want sadistic. Wait, did I just roll sadistic twice? Okay, sadistic, that's a bit... There we go, that's a bit better. Now you can, with this, you can uniquely alter most of them. You still have a little bit of randomness. So then you get your mother. Okay. Now who do we get this time? 90-year-old. And their ages are actually affected by your age. They're usually about 20 years older than you. I guess it doesn't really matter who I get here because they're going to be dead before... Go. Ugly, vile rumour. Shy, clearly not. Lazy. Never, not once. Honest, if only the fools knew. All the rumours are true. There we go. It is long-winded. This does take a while. And then we can choose to have a brother or sister. It's just us now, like they've already died. But we'll see what brother we get. The amount of time sterile comes up. Holy... What is with this guy? Now, I have found sometimes with the identical DNA, it just gets worse and worse and worse, like when you inbreed. Now, I don't know if that's a weird side effect. Yeah, this guy's... weird. Alright. Let's go. And then you can go, hey, his ancestry is a bit weird. So you can make him a bastard, you can make him a child of a concubine. Which is all pretty fun and when it comes down to it. Okay. Reality of education. Oh, that just went up by 1. Interesting. So it looks like in this one you can't change what that is. You can make it better, but you can't change it from the one it was rolled. Okay. Oh, it really wants to give me those nice traits there. All rumours are true. Now let's get back onto the ancestry. Now, you can make it that the mother cheated, the... Okay. Daughter... That is a little different. I guess it's because I was in a different civilization that the... that was an option. Yep, so when you're done, you then can go, yep, your father dies today, he dies in 3 days, he dies within 30 days, he dies within this year, and none know the will of the divine, which means the game goes, alright, we'll kill him when it's appropriate. Given he's 98, by next winter, I would say. So that's another one just to make sure that you do start with a bloodline and you do a little bit of a dynasty and you've got something you can work with. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities for that because the younger you are, the younger your parents are, so you can have some very solid support. And for a person who starts as like a 0-age child, it is an absolute lifesaver sometimes to have competent parents who can do things. Alright, here we go. This is finally kicking in. Now, one of the things we can have is this. I have no clue what effect this has on the game. Now, I do think when it comes to the Holy Grail War... Wait, so let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, I think all of these are representing the 7 deadly sins, like the lion's wrath, the pig will be gluttony, snail's sloth, peacock's pride. I don't know what the snake, goat, and toad are between them then. Let's go goat. I mean, last time I picked lion, I got wrath when I was eventually made into a master. Okay, let's speed things up. And watch me get attacked by Vikings. Nope, there we go, I've got me trade. Nice +1 to everything. Piety and prestige each month, and monthly lifestyle experience goes up. This is what sort of pays off when you're trying to learn all the magecraft stuff. And it helps. Go, and then you get this. Now, this is interesting. I went through down the old scabbard route, and that will guarantee you get Saber as your initial servant. I'm not too keen on this system, actually. I prefer the gacha mode. I mean, I miss the fact we can't select that anymore. And the chap has tried something he's wanting a little feedback on, and that's actually putting a story in using the system. And with the old scabbard, that goes through the Fate story of Fate Stay Night, but sort of jump back in time to Crusader King's era. And it feels a bit forced, especially when you get the Holy Grail War, you get told who the masters are and all their servants are, and then you start having characters pop up from the Holy Grail War in Fate Stay Night, and it's even he thinks it's a bit iffy, especially since his English translation isn't fantastic, and I didn't find it that enjoyable because you get put in a lot of do this or die situations, which is very much like the original visual novel, where if you make a wrong choice, you die in the first playthrough anyway, and then after that, certain choices in the playthroughs moves you into another story route. Now, I actually got really annoyed with it at one point, because the first time you meet Lancer, he kills a random person in your court and throws them at you, and he kept killing one of my daughters. It was already selected when the event started, so there's nothing I could do about it. But when you have like a potential thing that can insta-kill your heir with nothing you can do to stop it, it's not nice. And overall, it didn't sit right. I was playing a character that was massive in martial, almost as good as the servants themselves, and obviously it's putting you in the position of Shiro. And it, again, we're in a sandbox game, and having these forced events isn't great. What I would have instead, because I love the idea of there being events, what I would have instead is a collection of Holy Grail War events that trigger, especially since he's now made it that, unlike the first one where you only had to capture one master, strip the grail out of them, wham, you're done, and then your masters were essentially being used to you could farm holy grails out of them. Let's be honest, that's what I was doing last time. No, now you have to beat everybody, and it is a real threat, and it's quite difficult. Oh, forgive me, I just needed a little bit of water there. Now, I presume there is 2 other story routes that you can go, so if that's Fate Stay Night. The Black Banner, I'm unsure. That could be the evil Joan of Arc. And then we've got Blossoming Rose, or the Blooming Rose, sorry, which I suspect is Nero. Now, I don't know what Let It Be is. Like, you can just choose not to get involved. I'm going to go with the Blooming Rose, because I think I know who that is. The fact there's 200 servants now is fantastic, but let's just start this off so you can see how it works. So we use the holy relic from the old Magus. Yeah, I thought it was Nero. Welcome, Nero. Now, you see those traits? They're fantastic, aren't they? Doesn't matter, she's not fertile. Wait, none. You simply cannot sleep with your servants anymore, so no more godly traits from bloodlines. And then you get Fate Crusader Kings. So we'll see who we've got. Oh! So Master of Pride over here. And it does take away a bit of the nice, sort of the fun of discovering what servant they've got. Oh my goodness. Yeah, don't get into a fight with that one. Even Nero's going to get killed. Nero's a good support one in comparison. I still see none of them have education. Well, Nero does. Oh, I'm lost. Is a goat lost? He's got Robin Hood. You get. I wanted Robin Hood. Though he's coming as Viking Norse. That's a bit unusual. I shouldn't have done that. You go, oh, here we go. Fertility minus 10,000. Oof. Wait. You've got alternative beach clothes, Nero? Oh, I thought there was only... Now that's a bug. You're not supposed to be able to have the same servant pop twice. Though, oh my god, it's like drops all of the prowess just to get it all in diplomacy and lust. Okay. Gilgamesh's friend there. Again, another punchy one. And another altar one, an alternative. And with that, the Holy Grail War starts. They're all set to rivals. And as you can see, we've now got some very powered and dangerous people about. But now I can jump back to this and show you the Master lifestyle. Now, War Machine is okay. Duel of Heroes means that rather than having to declare a normal war on people, you can just do a duel between your servants, and the winner imprisons the loser. Over here you have a +5 to prowess and the experience, and what's the I can't see what the servant focus does, unfortunately, but the prowess one's very useful. But yeah, Master's Corpse is +25% levy, Master's Domain +3 domain limit, and then you've got the Master's Skill, which is Charge, which is expend one of your command runes, one of your 3, to make powers in the duel. And that's the same over here. That's the defensive version. And again, +50 Dread, Development Growth +1 per month, and Control +1 per month, which is nice. Mullet Master, you can duel more often, and an Almighty Master is just, look at that. Knight effectiveness a +100%, supply duration +100%, supply limit 100%, garrison +100. It's crazy. This tree is fantastic. These are dead. I never use the command skills because it's just like once that's gone, your servants vanish, and you have to beat a master to absorb them back. And I'm like, why bother? Just keep, unless you really need them, keep them in reserve. I mean, it does mean you don't get the most out of your servants, but oh, this is fantastic. And then over here we have servant chat. I haven't really used this. You can talk to them, reduce your stress, which is nice. And then all of this is using command spells, which at some point, which I just don't bother. This, on the other hand, outside of the Holy Grail War, maintaining a servant's presence will no longer consume mana of the master. That's one way of stopping you from having servants pass the war. So they're only temporary now, rather than you permanently get this immortal, very powerful person. But yeah, you can see it's very much a different style of game now. And if I jump over to... Actually, what am I doing? Yeah, that is where I want to go. I jump over to Nero. She's in my court. You know what? Set his favourite servant. Excellent. So we now can find her up here. She really doesn't like me for some reason. Probably the culture thing. Well, later on you can get them to change their religion, which is really nice. But this is what I want to show you. Servant upgrade. Bam! No longer need to be friends with them. You just inject the mana straight into their body. There we go, servant level 2. +2 to everything. This can go up to +10. I've so far managed to get as far as a +4, because earning that much mana takes forever without mages to tear it out of. Now, I am thinking of doing another playthrough. Let me know if you'd like me to go through the Face Stay Night one. Not all the events are currently available, but oh well. I am also tempted to make it a Highlander one, because I just love the Highlander mod. It's fun, and something I didn't cover before is when you kill another Immortal, you get perk points equal to their education trait in that area, and you get a percentage of their skills as you absorb their knowledge. So it does turn into a snowball of you getting more and more powerful, which is just fantastic and somewhat hilarious. I've got a guy who's yeah. So you've got this essentially immortal king who's got god stats, and it's practically impossible to assassinate you because when an immortal dies, your character gets this sort of paranoid trait for a while. So you get like -1,000 against for any hostile schemes trying to target you. This does mean you can't just murder another immortal like I was doing previously, or trying to do. But it certainly gets interesting. But yes, again, thank you for watching. Sorry to be jumping all over the place with this one. I have so many little mods. I was just trying to remember what order I was going to show them in. And there is also one that I think I forgot to put on today, but it's also music festivals, what adds a whole new trait and also very wonderful positions in your court, which are very fun. But thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.